Welcome to the Tri-Cities Regional Chamber of Commerce Quick Takes Legislative Live video series. My name is Matt Murphy, the Government and Regional Affairs Director for the Chamber. In this series, we're going to share quick visits with our local legislators. We want to know what's going on, what the hot topics are, and what in general is happening in Olympia. I want to thank the entire factory and MacKay Sposito for their support in this series as policy engagement partners. Today, we have Senator Boehnke back on the show from the 8th Legislative District. Good morning and welcome back, Senator Boehnke.
Good morning, Matt. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this. And I really appreciate you doing these episodes because I get a lot of feedback from people that really share their concerns about the community. Really appreciate keeping the community informed of what's going on here at Olympia. So thank you very much.
We are definitely trying to do that. And like you, the session is almost over with. So I'm looking forward to not necessarily doing these every week, but sooner or later we can all go home, so to speak. So the opposite house cutoff is come and gone. Are things slowing down at all? Are you sleeping in now?
No, it's not in that case. And if anything, we're getting less sleep because a lot of this is the planning and preparation you need to have before and after floor action. And so when you say we're going to the floor of the Senate, in our cases, there's a lot of prep with our staff, running amendments, understanding the bills, and really understanding what happens in the House when they come over to the Senate. Do we want to change our vote? Do we want to keep our vote? And those kind of things. When we get into what we call the concurrence or non-concurrence phase right now, and then, of course, we concur, then it goes to the governor's office. So it's a big, important step in the process of getting a bill to become a law.
Yeah. So when it comes back over and they've made changes to it and you guys don't concur, then it goes to a bill conference, right? Is
Correct.
that okay? Yeah. And that's where a couple from the House and a couple of the Senate, like I say, arm wrestle, rock, paper, scissors, whatever it takes to get a decision made. And then it comes back to both of you.
Yep.
Are they usually successful? I mean, obviously, if everybody sat in the room and kind of agreed on what it's supposed to look or what you agree on, is there still a lot of pushback on them?
Yeah, there is. I tell people it's always an attitude to never give up, never surrender on our positions. Meaning that if there's something really, truly a heart of hearts we want to fight for the Tri-City area in the 8th District, then you're pretty steadfast. It gives you also, number two, an opportunity where we can negotiate when we have other things on the table, whether it's a bill, a tax. If they're looking for votes, they need help on other projects, which in this day and age of higher taxes, more taxes, they're looking for all the help they can get. And there's certain things that you got to be prepared to as a legislator to where we don't go too far. In my background, I don't believe we can solve this by adding more revenue in things. So I'm not a big tax guy, so they already know going into a negotiation where we stand. And I believe building a relationship with the other side before you go into a negotiation part of this helps you understand that person that much better, knowing what they want out of this, what they're looking for as well. See if you can get to some kind of common ground. And so far, we've been pretty successful in doing that. I have a feeling this year, I'm not going to get too many good wins. Like one of my bills is working on Climate Commitment Act, and we have greenhouse gas emissions in the state and how we monitor those. I'm a big believer in data, and data makes good decisions better. And so if we have more accurate data, more timely, then we can make better decisions when it affects millions and billions of dollars across our state of what projects we can use. A lot of those are impacted in the state, in the 8th District, but also around the state. And we've seen that with the industrial symbiosis. You've been a part of getting that out in Port Pasco and in Franklin County, working with our farmers, agriculture, new innovation projects like that. We're going to keep driving toward and seeing if we can keep that our priorities as well.
Well, that's exciting because I know being over here, as you know, I'm not from here originally, but I recognize that energy and agriculture are the keys, and the Central Washington, the Tri-Cities area plays such an important role in the entire state. And so hopefully sooner or later, the legislators on the west side will begin to recognize that also.
I hope so. We put out numbers like, $6.8 billion for our potato industry alone. And then you add in the apple crop and the grapes, things that we go into each part of these sectors. We're a big commodities driven state, and exporting those to countries like China, who we're in a big conflict with right now on tariffs. We want to make sure that we're lessening the impact on all Washingtonians, but those specifically in the Tri-City area, but also keeping farming as one of our big commodities and keeping them at the forefront of what we can do to make us a great state.
Yeah, absolutely. So shifting, I guess we're not really shifting because we're still talking taxes, but what's up with this property tax bill 5798? It's scheduled for an executive session today. Like you said, you're heading right over there.
Yeah.
Does a bill really get an executive session if it's not going to come out of committee? Or, like this one here in particular, we had 43,000 people and growing sign in against it.
Yes.
What's the future of this one really look like?
Well, with the numbers in the majority party, it's always tough to see when it comes through a budget committee like Ways and Means, if they have the numbers to do that. Like, of course, process-wise, first off, we have a lot of amendments on this one and other bills that are going to be run this morning. They only have an hour for the meeting. It's going to take us more than an hour to do that, frankly. So we're going to go through a lot of those amendments. It depends on how they're going to take those. Some of these are to exempt some of our efforts in the Tri-Cities and around the state, whether it's manufacturing, the B&O tax on aviation like aerospace and Boeing, some of the bigger, larger companies like tech that are being hit hard by these taxes. But to the property tax alone, we have a lot of citizens that are signing in, and it's like, if this is really going to go, we're going to resonate loud and clear in our counter arguments that said these are families that have been hurting for the last 3 or 4 years coming out of COVID. But just even recently, how much a hamburger costs at McDonald's, but the price of eggs that we've seen gone through the roof, and then the fuel at the gas pump. I personally have an amendment on showcasing that our gas prices are going to go up another 84%. And you're going to see that to 25 to 30 cents a gallon, if not 50 cents a gallon at the pump. And so we got data that secures that. We've handed that out to people in the last 12 hours to say this is not a good bill to do, and just keep pushing that way. A lot of people are telling us they're still going to pass this and get it out of ways and come to the floor. We just want to give effort to the governor, which we think is in a good position from last night. And frankly, the Seattle Times article said he does not like any of these tax proposals, especially the wealth tax, the property tax that we're referring to here.
Yeah. So did the amount of people sign in, did it raise eyebrows even on the Democrat side? I mean,
yes.
It's tough to yeah, we'll see. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, I believe it matters. And we started talking this morning before we came on air, just between the two. It matters so much. And I use the words like inspires me every day when you see those numbers going through the roof, that people do understand what you're doing up here. You understand the fight that we're having and that we want to get that message across the state, even in the Tri-Cities, the first part of the way. Senator Dozier and I were talking from Walla Walla out in rural economic districts. This is going to hurt people all across the state. And you got to be a part of our process. We're not good unless people are part of a democratic process that we have here in our constitutional republic that we're trying to work this through. And that's the pressure points we need, having people involved, keeping this going. And frankly, this is going, if not to a lawsuit, we're already hearing a couple of people are gearing up for that. They're also going into another initiative process that we're going to drop and get the people's voice involved again.
Yeah. All I can say is I appreciate the fight that you guys, I mean, must be like beating your head up against the wall sometimes. I know just reading about just reading the articles makes me want to beat my head up against the wall. So
it's tough, trust me. It helps having people like you. Like I said, it's just inspiring that you do get frustrated. It's like every day, like we're going to keep going. And I think it does matter to share that voice. Makes it easier for the floor speeches, frankly. When we stand up to the microphones and we hear the stories, I pull them straight off those con arguments. And when people write in, I literally just copy and paste that into my speech. And Mr. President, the Lieutenant Governor, loves when we share those stories. And I appreciate the stories that come from your listeners and all of our constituents. So appreciate that.
I will encourage that more next year. We sent out 5 action alerts, and we had 894 people actually clicked on it. I can't say all 940 of them, signed in, but we're making progress, and we will do even more of that. as we streamline this process. So
Thanks. I tell you, when
yeah.
I'm in Ways and Means, I literally search by Kennewick, Pasco, Richland. So if you're in there, make sure you
hmm
sign in with
Yeah.
your, home address and even the email. So let me know. That's
Yep,
awesome.
absolutely. Appreciate that. Hey, there are 9 days left in this session. I know that you've got a busy morning, and not to mention whatever the afternoon is going to bring.
Yeah.
April 27th, I'd love to hear that you were, catching the driving back on the 28th, but I'm not so sure that that's going to happen.
Me
Um,
either. The way
so
things are going, it's not looking good, Matt. I tell you.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate the work that you do for us here in Eastern Washington, Western Washington. You
Thanks.
represent a lot of people, not just the eight. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. Again, thank you and your listeners for all your support and continue the engagement. It does mean a lot and it does matter. So appreciate
All
you.
right. All right. Thanks. You have a great day.
You as well. Take care.
You too. Bye.